Canada's refugee rush, the first milestone's over. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. Well, they did it. They met their revised, downgraded target of 25,000 Syrian refugees by the end of February. Immigration Minister John McCallum making that announcement with great fanfare at Toronto's Pearson Airport.
This is a terrific day for us because we have now achieved our target in phase one of this project. That is to say, 2 days ago, 2 days before the deadline, we admitted the 25,000th Syrian refugee.
Now, of course, there have been problems, and there remain problems along the way, including refugees stuck in hotels for sometimes up to 2 months, great costs to the Canadian taxpayer. Chris Friesen, who's the director of BC's Immigration Services, he says that his agency has received about $2.8 million since December, and much of it has been sucked up by hotel costs. But that doesn't matter to John McCallum, the immigration minister, saying that, you know what, we had to move fast. And again, he referenced deplorable conditions in the camps.
I have no regrets about this decision. If you had been as I have, twice in Jordan, once in Lebanon, and seen the conditions under which these people were living, I think you would agree with me that urgency was a priority.
It's funny, McCallum keeps talking about the camps, but as we found out, most of the refugees didn't come from the camps. Look, I don't care what side of this argument you're on, whether you want 0 refugees or 50,000 refugees. The way that the Liberals have handled this is all for their own vainglory. The fact is that most of the people, the overwhelming majority of the people that we brought in, were living in apartments and homes. They were in safe places. They were in adequate housing. I spoke to a man on the radio who said he was renting out his family's luxury condo in Beirut. These people weren't in trouble. It's true, they likely couldn't go home. And don't doubt that most of them were legitimate, real refugees in need of a new start somewhere. But does that new start mean warehousing people in hotels at great cost to Canadian taxpayers? Well, it does to John McCallum. McCallum refuses to admit that his rush to meet an artificial deadline put any strain on the system that wasn't worth it. The fact is, it hasn't been worth it. The money that should have been set aside for language training, for finding permanent housing, is instead, as one of the top people involved in this project says, being sucked up for hotel costs. That's not good for the refugees. It's not good for taxpayers. It's not good for anyone involved in the system other than the Liberals and their own sense of accomplishment. Bravo, John McCallum. Bravo, Justin Trudeau. You met your deadline, but at what cost?